So this is the second random battle I've played after installing Drunken Sailor's Battle Intel program.
Awaiting
And I guess
instructions.
I'll play it first before I get into the detail of the program. It's a fairly short video. I think the battle goes about 10 minutes. But you can see this is a random. And rather than a 12 versus 12 spawn, what we got right off is just 6 ships. And it's 2 in the afternoon on this game. And not only is it only 6 ships, it's multiple tiers. They couldn't even get 6. The matchmaker couldn't even get 6, tier 5s in. And I just don't think that bodes well. I think there's real problems. And then in this short field, Wargaming is still allowing squatting. Now, I don't think this is a very high level squad, but we'll get into that afterwards. The U-69, the Normandy, and the Dallas. Um, I think the Dallas is probably their most competent player. But you can see here, I've got a sub
Enemy
that,
force sighted on the
despite
horizon.
being very low rate, knows how to play. He didn't hide behind the island. He went out and spotted. He's spotting, and all sub players need to learn how to do that. He's a fairly low detection. Did I say sub? I meant DD. But he's spotting, and subs need to spot too. So this isn't my best play by far. I am not showing this game in order to illustrate that I'm a better player. That's not what I'm doing.
Detected.
That was a fine volley. So you can see I popped my hydro really to look for the Königstorps, but I found the destroyer over here at the same time. And that Koenig just took one of the Fubuki's torps, so that makes it easy. Because the truth is, I'm in the wrong position. I should be in a position to put rear guns on him, and I haven't done that. But unfortunately, the Fubuki helped me out. The reason I took that course, however, is I denied him torpedo lead. And the more you understand about this game, the more you utilize lead as one of your defensive tactics. I didn't always do that. I'm not saying I'm the greatest World of Warships player, but I understand fairness and equity. And I understand a game that's in decay to a certain extent, and they need to fix it. And they need to fix it now. And the matchmaker is the main reason. I've provided them with some tips to fix the matchmaker, which includes botting at a higher level AI. Make the fields full and symmetrical, because symmetrical is part of fairness. And how you can say, I mean, if you want to go total random, you can match, 12 DDs against 12 submarines. But that's not a random game. That's not a fair game. And that's what we're talking about. So when they say the matchmaker is not broken, believe me, it's broken. That's a defensive statement, and if it were anywhere close to that, they wouldn't have to utter those words. It's kind of like Don Trump maintaining that, he's not a crook. He tells you what he wants you to hear, and the reality is something far removed from it. So I think I've got, 17,000 damage. I don't know if there's any reason to really continue this. I'll tell you that we win the game, and relatively easily. I think we do lose 2 ships. The Dallas takes them out, but the Dallas refuses to play at the end. He just doesn't want to come back to the zone. He wants to play from afar. So the type of player he is not reflected in the way Drunken Sailor's matchmaker viewed him, and it made some statistical errors. So let me leave this, if I can, and get to the battle itself. So this was the matchup. You can see even on, this is Potato Alert, but you can see even on Potato Alert, this team was favored, 53% win rate to our 47. They had about a 4,000 damage difference, which is significant. and I think the damage is probably calculated on overall and not the ships. Excuse me. So my overall damage actually led the team. That's not the highest figure because I don't play battleships. I have very few battleship games in my history. I play cruisers, and in the ship, you could see I pretty much was the top damage doer. Even though in this game, I think I did 24,000 damage, not much. But I killed with aid of the Fubuki the boats on the it was the western flank, and that allowed us to move in and take their zone, and ultimately we took their capture the flag zone. But the matchmaker seemed to emphasize these numbers here, and you can see these are low overall game numbers, um, and that's just not a very accurate way of determining a winner. He had never been in the boat. This guy had been there one time and lost and had the best damage rate in the boat. But and this guy had a lot of games at a very low overall rate. That's I won't shame, but a little bit better in the destroyer. Once you get up to 47, you're figuring things out a little bit. But here's the kicker: this game um, rated the teams closer than Drunken Sailors statistical games. I'm sorry, I should have had this loaded already. And I don't fully understand his program. I'd have to play with it. And to me, it's an after the fact. Where'd it go? Here it is. It's an after the fact tool as opposed to a contemporaneous tool. You just can't get into it. And let's see if I can get here. Oh, lifetime reports. No, that's me. Okay, for some reason I've lost it, I think. Oh, there it is. It's slow to load. Um, so I've played 2 games with it, but where's the win-win BIR? Yeah, I don't know what BIR means for sure. I don't understand. I don't understand what's going on with this. Um, and I can't find it now. I'm just not familiar. Let's try something. No, that's not it. I'm sorry about that. Um, what I'm trying to point out is that the battle intelligence report rated that enemy team 95% to win. And now, granted, it was a short field, a low number of games played field for the most part, but overall, here's the problem. In my opinion, this game was a pretty fair match. You had 2 players with 18,000 games. We had two players with more games than the others. There's a lot of a low game player count in the game right now. These guys, this guy played well enough that I think maybe he's coming in with another nick. This damage rate looks a little good. I don't know. Learning on one nick, playing on another. But ultimately, I can't complain about this game's matchmaking. To me, it looked pretty fair, at least on this. I don't have a complaint with this. Certainly, it wasn't a game with 6 on a team where 3 Frosty clan members came in. The clan was Normandy, the Dallas, and the this division, I should say. There was no indicated clan and the submarine. And the truth is, they were the higher rated players. So was there an attempt to come into the lower tiers and club a little bit? Maybe, but um, their skill level was low enough that it didn't matter. Well, I guess what I'm saying in the long run is what wargaming needs to do desperately is to change the matchmaker so it takes into consideration the number of games played, the overall win rate, the overall win rate, and allocate that in a manner, and it can be done in a flash. It can be done in a flash, and for them to say it's difficult is ridiculous. And then to limit divisions, especially clan divisions, in lower fields, and then bot the fields where necessary, so you don't have this paucity of players in a random game. And if they can't do that, I do think that it's going to continue to, as far as population, degrade, and we're never going to get to a point where we can keep the game viable. And at least on the American server, I believe it's crashing now. One of their plans may be to try to import players from other servers, but there's time zone implications. People aren't playing at the same time. So I do believe they recognize that things aren't going well, and the time to fix it is now. Um, and if this was a little bit confusing and not setting a clear path for them, they don't have a clear path themselves.